This is Ryan Simme alongside Ryan Venezia. Say hi, Ryan.
Hello?
From Gross State College to beautiful Washington, D.C. Ryan, how's it in D.C. tonight? Is it cold?
Good. It's cold. It's awful. It's really cold.
Yeah. We are doing this. We are now 3 days out from the Oscars. Ryan and I are huge movie buffs. We are excited to share our predictions and what we hope to see from this year's Academy Awards. Ryan, first of all, the crop of movies this year for Best Picture. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is a good year for the Oscars? Is it a so-so year? What are your thoughts?
I have said it once, and I will say it a million times. 2012 was one of the best movie years we've had in years, and the Oscars definitely represent that. All the nominees for Best Picture, absolutely incredible. And this is the one year where I think everything that could possibly win, it deserves to win. So I'm really excited for it.
Yes, I agree as well. I was looking at last year's nominees, and I didn't see The Artist, and I still haven't seen The Artist, and I don't really want to see The Artist, but there was nothing else out there that was nominated. It was The Artist, The Help, and that's it.
Like
really.
Descendants, yeah. 2011 was really not that good of a year. But I guess leading up to 2012 pretty much blew it out of the water by so much. So
yes, absolutely. Which brings us into the Best Picture talk. I think there are at least 4 or 5 movies that can win, and you've just said that right there. Now, basically, Argo has the momentum to win this thing. It is seen as somewhat the front runner, even though 2 months ago I don't think anyone was saying that at all.
Absolutely, Argo's that one movie that it's one movie that's winning everything this year, but there is also a lot working against it at the Oscars specifically.
Absolutely.
Right. First of all, Ben Affleck's winning pretty much every director's thing he gets out for. He won the Directors Guild. He won the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, the Screen Actors Guild, won Best Cast.
Producers Guild as well.
Yeah, and Producers Guild, and won Writers Guild a couple days ago too. So Argo's pretty much sweeping everything that it gets. The problem with Argo at the Oscars is that it doesn't have the Best Director nomination, and if you have that, you're in trouble.
Exactly. I was reading a stat that apparently the last time a Best Picture had won without getting a Best Director nod was at 89. Is that what it was?
Driving Miss Daisy.
Exactly, yes.
So in the 84 years of Oscars so far, only 3 movies have ever won without a Best Director nomination.
There we go. Look at these stats. See, this is what you guys like in 4th of Hollywood. You have all these geniuses that work for us. So it just makes it's just so interesting to think that this movie can win without having the Best Director nod, and really it was I wrote it out. I mean when I saw it, I thought it was a great movie, but I didn't think it was going to win Best Picture.
To me, Argo doesn't have that Best Picture quality that a lot of the other movies up have. Yes, it is a fantastic movie, and it's definitely one of the best movies of the year.
Exactly.
But I mean, it doesn't have that girth to it that, say, something like Lincoln has, where it has that all-around Best Picture quality. Argo, to me, didn't have that. But it's still a fantastic film, and if it wins on Sunday, no one's going to be surprised, myself included.
Right. I think if the momentum's there and everything that says it should win is there, except there are these huge historical stats and facts, and there's just so many things that says, well, wait, it won't win.
Yeah.
I remember historically, I know Brokeback Mountain won, I think, everything before the Oscars and then lost. It lost to, was it Crash? I think it was lost to Crash.
Yeah, Crash won Best Picture that year. A lot of people were saying that was like Crash was the safer choice. People like themes of racism more than they like homophobia.
Exactly.
But Argo at the same time, this is something I didn't realize, but I found this out when it won Directors Guild, was Apollo 13 in 1995 did pretty much the exact same.
My favorite movie, by the way.
Oh, cool. It was nominated for Best Picture, but didn't get a Best Director nomination in the Oscars, but it still won the Screen Actors Guild, the Directors Guild, and the Producers Guild, which are the 3 big ones you can get because those represent the largest portions of the Academy, actors specifically. So people were saying, yes, Apollo 13 is going to win, but because it didn't have the Director nomination, Braveheart ended up winning in 95. That's something I thought was kind of interesting. People have been comparing Argo to that. So who knows? Nothing's going to happen.
It's going to be compared to Apollo 13. I love Apollo 13. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So if Argo loses on Sunday, and if it's the Apollo 13 of my generation, then perfect. but no, if Argo does not win, and I think the other few I'm thinking of are Lincoln, Life of Pi, and I think the dark horse is Silver Linings Playbook.
Dark Horse definitely is Silver Linings Playbook. I will definitely give you that one. It has nominations in all 4 acting categories, which hasn't
Right.
happened since like '81 or something like that. Um, and Lincoln and Life of Pi have the most nominations. So as of right now, yes, they are the front runners, if you can say that, because they have the most nominations. And typically, the Academy tends to choose Best Picture as the person who has the most nominations. That's just
Right.
how it goes, which means Lincoln is the front runner.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking too is like, because I guess Oscar nominations, the voting just ended like 3 weeks ago. It wasn't
Right,
that
that's
long
Friday, yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, if let's say I'm an Oscar vote, which I'm not. Now, yeah, maybe someday when this blog blows up and we all get Oscar nominating privileges. But if I'm checking off my boxes, I'm checking off, and I'll do this predictions later. But I'm trying to check off probably Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, and then another actor for Lincoln, and then Jennifer Lawrence, and that's so I'm going basically Silver Linings, or Silver Linings, Lincoln, Lincoln, and then what is my best picture? Is it do I just finish the trend? Do I just go and pick what I'm picking for the actors, or did I pick out something? Because I feel like you wouldn't pick something else differently. So is what's happening that Argo or Lincoln and Silver Linings are kind of like splitting the vote, and then Argo is coming up out of nowhere? Is that what the problem is, or
When Argo first started to win stuff earlier, it was because people thought it was a sympathy vote because Ben Affleck didn't get the Best Director nod. He
that
was
makes
the
sense?
front runner to get Best Director. Him and Catherine Bigelow, they won a lot of the Critics' Choice, which is usually a good indicator. They won pretty much
Mhm.
everything of that, and then all of a sudden, neither of them gets the Best Director nod. So a lot of
Yeah,
people say that they are winning all these things because they didn't get the Best Director nod.
that makes sense.
It's at this point, it's a little past the sympathy vote thing, being the fact that it's winning pretty much
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
So we're past that point. But typically, when you're choosing your predictions and stuff like that, looking at actors and looking at picture are two usually separate things. Past couple years, it hasn't been the case. Usually, there's at least one acting winner that is the same as Best Picture, but statistically speaking, actor and picture don't go along. The best indicator for picture is director.
Director, yes, agreed. Um, let's make the case for. We made the case for Argo because it's winning everything, and it does have something there. Make the case for Lincoln and Life of Pi. I mean, like you said,
Life of
Lincoln has to go. Lincoln has Spielberg behind it, and Lincoln has the best performance I've ever seen from an actor in the past 5 years.
Definitely.
But so why? I mean, so it not winning should make sense, but I don't think it will. I don't know.
Lincoln is definitely very close second, if not first place for Best Picture, because it has, like you said, it has one of the best performances I've ever seen before in my life. Daniel Day-Lewis is easily one of the greatest actors of our generation, if not ever, and he's gonna win his third Best Actor Oscar
Yeah,
on
should
Sunday.
be fourth. Yeah,
Not even a question. Yeah, but when he wins on Sunday, just a fun fact, he'll be the only actor to have 3 Best Actor wins in the
exactly. Yes,
history of the
passing
award.
Tom Hanks, which is
So
horrible for all Tom Hanks.
beating Tom Hanks. so So for me, that gives another boost for Lincoln. It has, like I said, it has Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's probably going to walk away with Best Director because Ben
Oh,
Affleck's not up there,
yeah,
and it's certainly due for him. Last time he won was '98 for Saving Private Ryan, and he hasn't.
mhm.
One of his movies hasn't won Best Picture since '93 with Schindler's List. So Spielberg's definitely due for an Oscar. Um, so that's probably my biggest case for Lincoln is that it has the Spielberg vote behind it. Life of Pi, I can't see winning anything more than technical awards at this point.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's gonna win probably a bunch of technical stuff, but yes, it has a bunch of nominations, but it doesn't have that backing or boost to get.
Right. So let's say this isn't a prediction, but okay, let's say that the Argo votes and the Lincoln votes and the Silver Linings votes all are knocked out, and you think Life of Pi is not going to be in the running. What's your next best option? There used to be only 5 nominees for all you kids out there watching. There used to only 5 nominees for Best Picture. Now they've made it 10. Which how do you feel about that, Ryan? Do you like that or
They
not really?
It's not 10 anymore. It's now between 5 and 10.
Oh,
It's
gotcha. Okay, sorry.
when in 2008 was the last time they had 5 awards, and the reason people got ticked is because it had all these artsy independent films that no one saw, and they were
Yeah,
like, okay, movies
yeah,
like Dark Knight should have gotten a Best Picture nod, but Dark
yeah.
Knight especially was their backing, should have gotten that Best Picture nod, but it didn't because there was only 5. So the Academy solution, okay, let's boost it up to 10. So they had 10 nominees. Issue with that, yes, it has popular films in there, but it also has usually 2 or 3 films that really shouldn't be in the Best Picture list, and
Agreed. Yeah.
there was too much. So now it's this really complicated thing, but the easiest way to describe it is basically when the Academy votes for the nominations, they get a blank piece of paper that says Best Picture, choose up to 10.
Okay.
And in order to get a nomination for Best Picture, you have to have 5% of the Academy votes as their number one choice for Best Picture.
Wow. Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes
So
perfect sense.
5%
Okay.
of the
I
people.
hope everyone should be learning stuff from this vlog. I hope everyone's learning.
So that's how they do it now. So this past 2 years there's been 9 nominees is how it's ended up working out. So,
Yeah, I remember it wasn't 10. I mean, like, even though there is 9, I feel like you can pick out 4 or 5 that would be your 5 if there was only 5. And if for me those 5 are let me get the nominees out actually, because I don't want to miss something that's huge. It's Lincoln, Silver Linings, Life of Pi, Argo, and Zero Dark 30. Those are my 5. If I had to pick 5,
if you were
Les
to
Mis for me is I'm not putting Les Mis in that 5. And Django Unchained, as great as Django Unchained was, I'm not putting him in the 5 either.
I would agree. I love Django Unchained. I love Tarantino, but if anything,
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said that he thinks Django Unchained was the worst of the Tarantino films.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree. I thought it was actually one of his better ones. I don't know.
Yeah. But answer your question, if I were to pick a 4th or 5th choice, I would go with Beasts of the Southern Wild or Amour, because both of them did get the Best Director. Ben Chauvin.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I feel like Beasts of the Southern Wild is like the Tolkien artsy pick that they always put in there. That may win.
That was the indie film that they chose. It got a lot more than anyone was expecting.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say that was probably the 4th or 5th choice, just based on Best Director. It doesn't have a shot in the dark, in my opinion, but
right. So into predictions now. So your predictions are going to come out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Now maybe if you want to throw in any sneak peeks for our viewers out there, that you might throw them a little something here and there. But also, since we're movie geeks, we don't do just the big 6. We do all of them. We do
all 24.
All exactly, yeah, all of them. So I'm just gonna go down my list. I for Best Picture, there's a thing that people do, which is the will win, should win thing.
Yeah.
I think what will win is going to be Argo, because I just think that it has too much going for it now. I feel like if they were not to win, how do you justify them not winning? You know what I mean? Like, they've won everything else. You've done all the barriers to winning this have been met. So what would make you want to say no to them now?
I agree, but at the same time, when it's all said and done, the Oscar is the only one that matters.
Yeah, no, agreed.
When people ask the Best Picture in '95, they're going to say Braveheart. They're not
right.
Even though Apollo 13 literally won everything else.
Yeah.
Best Picture was Braveheart because that's what the Academy chose.
Agreed.
So that's just another thing about them.
Right. No, definitely agree with that. So for my pick, Best Picture, it will win Argo. I think should win is Silver Linings Playbook. Silver Linings was the one movie that I think it was the first one that I saw for this award season, and I just thought it was just absolutely brilliant. Everything about it was perfect. I had never seen Bradley Cooper act like that.
Most definitely. Bradley Cooper blew my mind.
Seeing Bradley Cooper in like these really stupid hangover films, and you just think like, man, this guy has so much talent, he's wasting it. And then you see Jennifer Lawrence too. Like, I mean, she's been great, but I think this was her coming out party. You know what I mean? I think this was where she really came into her own. And David O. Russell, who I've never been a huge fan of, but then I watched The Fighter again like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
I think if Argo doesn't win, and I think Lincoln will win, but I would love to see if Silver Linings wins. I'm starting like a parade down the town.
Most definitely. I really, really enjoyed Silver Linings Playbook, and all 4 of the people up for the acting awards are
perfect.
And if Daniel Day-Lewis wasn't in this year for Lincoln, Bradley Cooper would walk away with Best Actor. Yes, like I said, I did not think that man could act, and I saw him in Silver Linings Playbook, and it completely blew my mind how much. Yeah. Like, he was absolutely incredible.
Even the whole, I mean, I forget who won the SAG for ensemble. Oh, it was Argo though. But Silver Linings, I thought they had a good shot at least. Like, I don't know, like everyone in the movie was
that one should, especially for SAG, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Argo should have won. I think that should have been Lincoln, Silver Linings, Les Mis, or I'm blanking on the 5th one they had up.
Marigold, is that
yeah, is that a Marigold? I thought all 4 of them were better than Argo acting wise, but it's what's done is done.
Exactly. For actor, this is the easy one that everyone's picking. Is Daniel Lewis. You know,
Definitely. Yeah.
he's gonna win his third. I think it should be his fourth because Gangs of New York, he was brilliant in that too, and got panned for I forget who. Oh, it was Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody for Pianist. Adrian Brody was good, but yeah, Daniel Lewis is.
But what has Adrian Brody done since The Pianist? Whenever I watch King Kong, whenever it's on like TV, I'm always like, oh, I forget he's in this movie because he's so forgettable in that movie.
Yeah,
he's the main character. He's so.
That's a good point. He has a very forgettable acting career.
I just so he'll win his third, and it should be his fourth. Actress for me is Jennifer Lawrence. She was just so good. I think everyone from that movie was so good, but I think Jennifer Lawrence will win for that. I forget actually who else is doing up on that.
Actress is another interesting one because
Jessica Chastain.
Back in September, October, people were like, we have no idea who's going to win Best Actress, and then all of a sudden, Jessica Chastain sweeps pretty much every single critics group. She won Best Actress. Everyone's like, okay, it's Jessica Chastain this year, no question. Awards actually start to come out now, and now it's Jennifer Lawrence. Now you've got a third person in the running with Emmanuel Riva in Amour.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't think she was going to be up, but she won BAFTA a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that actually.
And she's, with all due respect, she's never going to be up for an Oscar again. She's 86 years old, French actress, in a French movie. If they're going to choose a sentimental favorite, it's going to be her. Lawrence and Chastain will be up for an Oscar, if not win an Oscar in the future. Riva, she's pretty much done. So if the Academy chooses sentimental, you could see her. I wouldn't be surprised if any three of them walked away, but Emmanuel Riva and Jennifer Lawrence are definitely, I think, the front.
Supporting actor is the one that I'm kind of going back and forth on a little bit. I got Christoph Waltz for me. I just think I think Christoph Waltz also is becoming like, you know how like, all right, so Christopher Nolan picks the same 8 actors for all of his movies. He's always going to pick, Cillian Murphy, and he's always going to pick Michael Caine, whoever. Mm-hmm. I feel like Christoph Waltz is going to be, in Quentin Tarantino's like, 8th and 9th movie down the road. I think it's going to be him and Christoph Waltz just doing their normal stuff. And he was good. I thought he was great. He made that movie, gave that movie a new dimension. As good as Jamie Foxx was phenomenal in John Jane, but I thought Christoph Waltz was better. So that's
most definitely. The supporting actor is another one. If any of the 5 of them win, no one's going to be surprised or be upset because all 5 of them are so awesome. Christoph Waltz, I guess, won the BAFTA, but I mean, Tommy Lee Jones won SAG, which is giving him the frontrunner boost because Actors Guild does make up the biggest branch of the Academy. So Jones, I would say, is the frontrunner. Also, De Niro hasn't won an Oscar since 1980. I mean, we're talking Robert De Niro hasn't won an Oscar since 1980. So and this is the first tough guy role he's played in so long. He's finally back to doing what he's good at. So if he I'd love to see him win too.
Right. I think you named the 3. Tommy Lee Jones, Christoph Waltz, De Niro, all could win. Alan Arkin, of course, is the I think the dark horse there, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman, I feel like is just the one that they put in there because he's a name and he's always going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see The Master. Did you see The Master?
Yes.
You like it?
It was an art house one. It was very, very strange.
Okay.
I don't know. It wasn't.
All I gotta say, it's a very strange art house, and I'm done. Supporting actress, I think this is an easier one. It's Anne Hathaway for me. That's my prediction. I would love to see Jackie Weaver from Silver Linings again. I'm gonna say that name for a while, Silver Linings, but I think Also, Amy Adams is in this too. She's gonna win one of these days.
Yeah, the poor girl. She's up like every 2 years for something, and she never wins.
Yeah.
I thought Sally Field was better in Lincoln than Anne Hathaway was in Les Miserables almost. Anne Hathaway was absolutely incredible, but in the same respect, Sally Field was also equally as awesome. So.
I didn't love Sally Field in Lincoln. I don't know. I didn't like anybody in Lincoln besides him, really. I don't know. I don't know.
Comparison.
Yeah, that's true. But
Anne Hathaway definitely deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go animated feature now. Animated. Is there any reason to think that Brave won't win?
Couple. Brave won.
Okay. BAFTA. Well, all right.
Brave won BAFTA, I think. I'm pretty sure it won BAFTA. Pixar, of course. Everything Pixar's up for, it always wins for animated. The The two ones that are throwing me off are Wreck-It Ralph and Frankenweenie.
I know those are the two that I was going back on as well. Yeah,
Both of them are just Disney movies, and a Disney movie by itself has never won an Oscar. Has
right.
never won
Yeah,
animated. Sorry, never won animated feature. Disney's won a bunch of
yeah,
Oscars,
yeah.
but it never won animated feature. It's always been Disney Pixar. So I think Wreck-It Ralph. Academy tends to be older people, so Wreck-It
Yeah.
Ralph might not sit well with them. But Frankenweenie, to me, Tim Burton's never won an Oscar. Disney's never won an Oscar for animated feature.
Yeah.
So to me, Frankenweenie has that like shot in the dark. If it wins, it would be awesome. But in the end,
Right.
are they going to go with Pixar, Brave?
Yeah.
80.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think Franklin was. I didn't see it, but I didn't hear her was not good. So.
It was. Oh, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I love Tim Burton though, so.
Right. No, I same. But now I thought originally this is gonna be the best category for director ever because I thought you were gonna have Ben Affleck, Bigelow, Tarantino, Spielberg, and Ang Lee. I thought that was your five. And then it wasn't. And then we had Ben Affleck getting snubbed, Bigelow getting
there were
snubbed.
three surprises in the best director category
Yeah,
this year.
right, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I don't. As good as Lincoln was, I don't think Spielberg should win. I don't know. It sounds like blasphemy, but still, it wasn't. I don't think it was that good. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
See, I loved Lincoln, and if Spielberg's gonna win anything, the past couple of movies he's done in the past few years, War Horse did absolutely nothing for me, and
Munich, I did not was
Munich
not
did nothing. Yeah, Munich did nothing for me. So this is definitely the best thing he's done in years.
I mean, like it's not better than Private Ryan. It's not better than Schindler's List. I feel like it's just I don't know. I feel like
no, definitely those are definitely better. But in the past couple of years, Lincoln's probably his best, and I hate to say this, but he is getting old, and he is slowing down a little bit. So who knows? This may be, God forbid, his last chance.
Or maybe he'll direct the new Star Wars after J.J. Abrams does.
Exactly. People do 8 or something like that.
Right, exactly. I think Spielberg will win. I don't think Ang Lee has won yet, and I think this might be one of his better ones. So I think Ang
Lee won Best Director 2005 for Brokeback Mountain.
For Brokeback Mountain, right? Okay, got it. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, wow. I had two names written down. I had Ang Lee and David Russell. I think David Russell should win at some point in his life. The fact that David Russell wrote the movie and directed it for his son.
Oh, definitely.
It's such a great story, especially for mental illness people like me that are really into this kind of stuff. Like it was such a nice story, and I hope that he wins.
And the reason the movie was also so successful and so good, I think, is because it handled such a sensitive topic so well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's like so reliant on the director, and David Russell really, really did a good job with that.
Yeah.
He took something that could have been really, really bad and turned into something that was actually heartfelt and actually meant something to a lot of people. So
that point. And I heard he's making a new one now with Jeremy Renner and
with a bunch of people. It's all of his. He's making another movie with Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Christian Bale. I hadn't heard Jeremy Renner, but he wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
he is in it. Yeah, he is in it. So yeah. So
if not this year, maybe 2 years from now, then we'll see that movie, that super movie. Music, original score. I am between Lincoln or Life of Pi, John Williams or Life of Pi. Really,
I would love to see John Williams win, and he won a couple of earlier things, but recently it's been Life of Pi winning original score. So either one of them wouldn't surprise me, but it can be. And you know what? Skyfall has a chance in that category too. I'm pitching for Skyfall. Right. I love Skyfall. I want it to win.
Original song, I guess you're going Skyfall for that one.
Yeah, not even a question. That was another lock.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't. You get confused by all the other nominations. Whether it's Oscars or if it's SAG or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a point when I freaked out a couple days ago and I said, "Oh my God, Taylor Swift might actually win an Oscar," and I was like, "This cannot happen."
No, she was up for. Yeah, she's up for a Globe, not an Oscar. Yeah, thank God.
Oh my gosh, crisis averted for me.
Yeah. And the fact that Adele's going to be performing at the Oscars, the song, and it's going to be a James Bond tribute at the Oscars. So I mean.
Yeah. Now the two that I think are a little more contested in these ones are Reading for original screenplay and Reading for adapted. I'd like to see Tarantino win for original. I would like to see it because I don't think I have ever seen him win.
Definitely. He's won one Oscar, and it was in '94 for Pulp Fiction original screenplay.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, it's been so long. And Django, out of all the original screenplay, Django's really probably the front runner. The only thing that's kind of concerning me is that Writers Guild was last week, and Zero Dark 30 won original screenplay. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
other things.
Yeah. I really like Django. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought the writing was good.
Yeah.
I was a big
It was,
fan of it.
it was best one
I
he's done in a while because I wasn't super fond of Inglourious Bastards, to be honest with you.
see now whenever I say that on people, they always get mad at me. So thankfully someone's saying that too.
Okay, you didn't. Okay, good.
Yeah, Inglourious Basterds was good, but like, man, some of the scenes went nowhere. Like,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, it was the weakest out of all of us, and his are always long, but usually it's long and you're entertained from beginning to end. And Inglourious Bastards had several moments where I was like, okay, just get on, move on, do something else.
Exactly. Yeah, some of the scenes went a little bit too long, and I was like, all right, come on, like the one like the three whatever one, like that took forever to like.
Oh, the bar scene, the bar scene, that was long.
Oh my gosh. Even the beginning too.
Tarantino, where he has his like 20-minute build up, and then everyone ends up getting shot at the end or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not my favorite of his, but to each his own. For adapted, I'm going Lincoln. Writing wise, it was phenomenal, and it was perfect.
Lincoln or Argo for that one probably. Argo just because it's Argo and it won Writers Guild.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. I've read parts of Team Arrivals, and it's great. They're both good. Yeah, and like. So I don't know. Lincoln just makes sense to me. I'd give it to Lincoln. And you made a top 10 list of the best Oscar winners ever on fourthhollywood.com. So if you're on the website, be sure to check it out. What was your thoughts about when you wrote the post? What were you thinking? What was your reasoning behind some of your picks?
Well, I went through all the best picture winners, and to me, when I was picking the top 10, I wanted to choose the 10, and the 10 I chose, the reason I chose them is because I thought they're obviously the best. I think the best of the best, cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
I chose them because I thought all of them were the best of their respective years. Because to me, that's another issue. Like, yes, this movie was incredible. This was a great movie, but this was also up the same year, which was much better movie than the other one was. Yeah. So that was a deciding factor for me. I try to choose movies that were important to the Oscars history and stuff. Like I have a big 5 winner, Silence of the Lambs as number 2. Titanic I had in there because it's the quintessential best picture movie. It won everything it was up for, had the largest Oscar attendance crowd. So
right. I thought the list was great. I agree with you on most of them. I never saw Silence of the Lambs until last night. I saw the list and I knew we were doing this vlog. So I decided because I bought it. I bought it a long time ago, and I thought I have to be in the mood to watch it because it's gonna be scary and Hannibal Lecter and all that kind of stuff. So last night, like midnight, I put it on, and it was I could not sleep. I was like, oh, this is
I love Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it was great.
It has two of my favorite, if not my favorite performances of all time. Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster are both so incredible in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's a horror, but it's not a horror. It's a thriller more than it's a horror. But like Lecter, like the whole Lecter escape scene, like the whole movie is just absolutely incredible. And it was one of those the Academy finally got it right. Like, yes, you chose a movie that people liked and the critics liked and you guys liked, and it won the Big Five. So I mean, that to me was just another one of those like it won Best Picture hurrah type movies.
There's something also about like I feel like horror movies from the '90s, they had the perfect mix of suspense and horror. Oh yeah, well plot, yeah, that too. I think just I feel like when we watch horror movies now when I was in high school, or whatever, it was always just like it's horror, but it's just gore. It's just gore, and that kind of stuff.
It's the Saw, Paranormal Activity, like they're for me, they're for me.
Right, but I thought, I mean, like with some of the nice, there were thrillers and that, like you had you had Seven, you had Silence of the Lambs, of course, which I thought were both gory in their own ways. I mean, there were parts where I was like, oh, this is disgusting. But
they weren't overdone. They definitely were not overdone. And Seven especially was a lot of more like using your imagination type things. Because like you see some of it, but a lot of it, when you watch it a second or third time, you're like, oh, this is so horrible. And then you watch it, you're like, wait, they don't actually show anything. And it's the same thing for Silence of the Lambs. You think it's going to be horrible. But like, okay, Silence of the Lambs, for example, Lecter is a cannibal. You hardly, if ever, see him
eat someone.
Yeah, you see him bite someone once.
Yeah,
in the entire 2-hour movie.
Right,
which is.
So, all right, we're gonna end this podcast on this final question, or this video podcast for fourthhollywood.com.
Okay.
So Ryan, let's say I am I'm interested in the Oscars. I want to watch it because everyone's gonna be watching it. I can't go on Twitter without seeing Oscar stuff. Um, but I really haven't seen any of the movies, and I don't go out of my way to see these movies. What do you think I should do? Let's say it's Saturday night, it's snowing. What do I try? What's accessible to me that I can see before the awards on Sunday? What do you think I should do?
Accessible wise, if you're in your home, Argo is the one I say to watch. Argo, it just came out on DVD. If you have the opportunity to get it, I'm pretty sure it's on demand. I can't be certain on that, but if any of them, I'd say watch that one because a lot of the other ones who are going to be the big contenders, unfortunately, the way the Academy works is they only choose the movies that come out in November and December.
Right.
So a lot of those aren't available yet. But Argo is available. Definitely watch that one. It's going to be a contender. It's going to be a huge impact. You're going to hear it talked about the whole night. So if you haven't seen any of the Best Picture nominees and you're stuck at home, I'd say watch Argo.
And I honestly I think I'll leave it on this, but I think I think it will win, and I think it's a different kind of movie that could win. When Chicago won a long time ago, people thinking, man, that was a weird movie for them to pick for Best Picture, and yeah, it was, and I think Argo is in that same category. It's a different movie to pick for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and Hollywood loves talking about itself and loves congratulating itself, and the fact that Argo's plot revolves around them making a movie to save someone is just it's so much out there. And one more thing, I have to promote this. Skyfall is also out on. If you haven't seen it in the event you didn't see it in theaters or whatever, Skyfall is going to be making a lot of appearances at the Oscars. Argo, it's like 90% going to win stuff, but Skyfall is definitely going to win stuff. It's definitely going to be talked about because it has the Oscar little sneak preview. They're going to do a James Bond tribute during it.
There you go.
Adele's going to be performing Skyfall. They're doing a tribute to musicals during it. So the cast of is cast of Chicago, cast of, I think the last one was Dreamgirls. So they're going to make appearances. So definitely. But yeah, if you're going to choose one, Argo, most definitely.
Absolutely. I actually haven't seen Skyfall yet, and I feel horrible saying that. I just never got around to it, and I think it was a busy November. I really that's a horrible excuse, but I just never got around to it.
Definitely watch Skyfall.
Yeah. Prediction also: Seth MacFarlane, funny or not funny this Sunday?
I am so excited to see Seth MacFarlane on Sunday.
I feel like some of the people are mixed. Some people I talk to are like, man, he's gonna be terrible, and I'm like,
a lot of people are saying he's gonna be like Ricky Gervais was for Golden Globes. Seth MacFarlane, unlike Ricky Gervais, has class and he has respect.
Yes,
and he knows what he's talking about, especially like Family Guy. All those shows I find hilarious because he actually gets pop culture. He understands it. He knows it. So I think for him hosting the Oscars, I mean, he's such a movie buff and he's such a movie guy. I think it'll be so incredible to see up there. And I think he'll have class. He'll have taste. He won't be like Ricky Gervais and just make fun of people the whole time because that's not really funny. But Seth MacFarlane, I am so excited to see what he does.
Right. And you mentioned before how a lot of the Oscar audience is a little older. If you watch Family Guy, there are a lot of 80s jokes.
Definitely.
If I didn't watch the 80s, I wouldn't get any of these jokes. So I hopefully people enjoy that part of it. I'm sure he'll throw in some jokes about Charles in Charge.
And the fact that it is Seth MacFarlane, he's going to throw in he's going to have the younger crowd in there. So
true, exactly, yeah.
If his nominations announcement or any indication, he'll be very, very, very good.
Absolutely. Very, very good. So be sure to watch on Sunday. I have my big popcorn bowl ready to go for Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, using this guy, passing this guy out. That is our Oscar vlog. Thank you for watching. If you look down, you will see all of our predictions, or all of my predictions at least, and look for Ryan predictions on Saturday. So look for those, and have a wonderful Oscar Sunday. Goodbye.